Hello everybody, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are going to illo a person. Now, on what you're seeing on your screen, I went to Google and found a just random picture of a girl, and I am going to trace her out and try to draw her, I guess you could say. So, first step, we are making this box way smaller so it's way more manageable. I currently have Adobe Illustrator open. All right, so now we are going to lock this lovely image so it doesn't move on us while we trace it. So the first step, I am going to start at the top and kind of work myself around. So as you can see, I'm just going to trace moving around, move my cursor, and what you're seeing right there. So if you're familiar with this software, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, basically, I'm just dragging and curving my mouse to fit the edges of the hat. So once I've gone around the hat, which I'm almost here in a second, I am going to then fill in the color. And you'll see me do this in a little bit, but I will take the pole color from the hat and match it with the new illo we have. All right, so now I'm going to go around the hair, and we'll have to come back and get a lot of this later, so don't worry about the arm and the extra body features right now. Just continue going on a straight path and we can always go back later. Quick thing to note here, do not worry about the extra hair and the kind of static with the hair. Just kind of go with the majority of the hair. Like we can see kind of there's some like extra flowy hair, loose hair you could say, so don't worry about it. Just keep going on a straight path. So I'm going to work myself around this curve of the hair. Now another thing to note is although you are tracing the hair, you never trace the neck, so keep in mind later you will have to go back and get the neck. And although I'm going to kind of do a little bit of that now, you're going to have to make sure you traced it and got everything together. All right, so now's the fun part. So we get to go around the eyes, and in this case, they're just sunglasses. So, which is another quick thing to note. If you do this with another image, one of the best things to do with eyes is to kind of make a no face, kind of a blurred out face. That will probably be shown in another video. However, it's really difficult to match the eyes perfectly. So in this case, it works out perfectly. Because we never see the eyes or the pupil, we just kind of get a round frame. So I just kind of lightly traced around the glasses here, and we can always come back if we missed anything. So yeah, those are the glasses. All right, so to review, basically, we've gone through the hat, some part of the hair, we've gone through a little bit of the neck and the glasses. So now, in this next step, I'm going to take you down to the bottom here, and we are going to kind of start doing the wrist and the other side of the hair. So I'm going to take my cursor here and get the remaining hair. I'm going to drag it down, and this part's a little bit tricky because we never see the total hand. However, we do get the wrist, so that definitely needs to be added. So here in a little bit too, you will see that I actually traced the watch too, because that's obviously important because that sticks out and it's a very noticeable feature. So you're going to continue down the arm, and I don't know why, but honestly, I feel elbows are the easiest thing to trace. I don't know if it's just because they're curved, or whatever it is, but yeah, you're just going to continue tracing. And to note, I don't think I said this earlier, but if you ever make a mistake, just Command Z. It will totally be fine. Lots of the time you will make a mistake and you'll need to go back. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unlock that image right now and kind of highlight what I've traced. And oh my goodness, you can tell, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, that doesn't look anything like the picture, and duh. And that's where you start freaking out. Don't panic. That is totally fine. Now we know that we need to go back and fix the eyes a little bit. We need to kind of make some touch-ups. That is perfectly fine. And you can always drag back. Illustrator is very friendly in that way where you can go back and it's not permanent. So don't worry. So now if you're really feeling bold, what you're going to see me do here in a second, I'm going to actually drag the photo away and kind of self-image the image a little bit. I'm going to kind of guesstimate where the lines of the hair are, just because there's so much hair and it's kind of getting confusing. So you're gonna see me make some lines, and you'll quickly begin to see the difference of what we had, and it will start making a lot more sense. All right, so in a second here, you're also gonna see I'm going to mess with the neckline of the shirt. Now you can kind of see that is kind of a funky shirt where it's got like a really circular neck and really kind of short spaghetti straps. So you're probably wondering, oh, well, I don't even need to include that. That's just so minor. However, every detail counts on any part of any project you do. So I'm just kind of self-guesstimating the angle of the shirt. Again, this takes a lot of practice, so if that does not work for you, definitely don't do that. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just kind of tracing the shirt, and you can quickly begin to see, oh, that's a shirt. So yeah. Okay, so we've gone through the shirt, we've clearly fixed up our arms, we've gone through the hair. Now I'm actually making a nose. Now, you don't actually have to do this if you do not feel confident enough to trace the nose. The nose can be very tricky along with the eyes. The facial features can be very difficult sometimes, so do not fear if you cannot get it right. Just kind of keep it a blurred image. So as you can see, I'm also going back and making hair extensions and kind of making it more look like hair. I'm also going to trace the mouth, and again, same thing with the nose and the eyes. Don't worry about it if you do not feel bold enough. Just kind of keep it a blurred, kind of shadowed image. So yeah, so you can see that I am curving the upper lip and then curving the bottom lip, and then I will copy and paste that over to the... So now comes the best part of this video. We are going to add color, and by doing that, we're going to use the eyedropper tool. Instead of having to go through and match colors and get it close, we are literally going to pull the color from the original picture. So you can see I kind of started with the hat, and one of the tips I noticed is on the white background, it kind of is difficult to see the white. So I actually made sure to click that little trace tool on the side of swatches, and I made it a little darker so you can see the outline of the hat. So I'm just kind of going through and adding my little color touches. So next, I'm going to transfer over to the hair. Now, just to note, when you're doing a pole color, sometimes it can be very difficult to pull from the right section of the hair. And what I mean by that is sometimes, like, especially in this photo where the lighting on our hair is a little lighter in some areas, it definitely depends. So you definitely have to kind of mix and match for a few times. As you can see, that looks really brown. The one before that looked really kind of pale. So you just kind of have to mess with it. So you're quickly gonna see that our color isn't quite matching up. Yes, we are touching the lines and hitting the fill button for swatches, and we are adding this color. However, especially the shirt, you can see isn't completely blue, and you're probably at this point really wondering what the heck is happening, like what I do wrong. You do not have to restart anything. Simply, I will show you how to do this in a few slides. However, you're just going to kind of retrace over your traced stuff and get the color, because as you can see, the face is kind of proportional and you can't get the sides. This is where the touch-ups are going to start coming in, and it's harder. It's easier than it looks. Everyone kind of thinks it's hard, but it's super easy. So what you just saw me do, I traced my face again, and I pole colored it to the tan color of her face, and then I'm going to object, arrange, send it back. And as you can see, the face is now tan, hooray! So what you're gonna see me mess with here in a second is that my face lost its shaping a lot, and it's kind of wider, and there's no neck, and it's really kind of confusing. So you're gonna see me mess with that here in a second. So biggest tip here, now that we've fixed the neck, you're going to want to be very careful that when you are mixing and matching the colors and taking different samples from the picture, that your skin tone is the same skin tone throughout. So as we are approaching the end, you are going to see that although we have traced everything and gone back, there's still going to be a few empty gaps of space that just can't be filled in if we stretch stuff. So I'm going to introduce you to the paintbrush tool, one of the best tools known to mankind, and it is basically going to touch up any spots that we could not reach. So I'm going to make a few more touch-ups here. But yeah, so obviously you can make the shirt striped. I'm going to leave it for the sake of it. I kind of like how the blue is just a blue shirt. But yeah, so that is my tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you learned something new. Happy designing!